Hello, everyone. It's good to see everybody again. I know I've been away for a long time, and probably a lot of you have forgotten about the channel. Just, had some health issues, lost my inspiration for the guitar, and, just got overall just got extremely distracted by various aspects of my life. I am back now, and honestly, I've never really thought about what I wanted to do with these videos, what I wanted to do with this channel. Sometimes I think, oh, it's an education channel. Sometimes I think it's more of a performance channel. I don't know, and I still don't quite know. But one thing I am going to do on this channel is I'm going to do things that interest me, and hopefully they interest you. Some of the ideas I'm going to talk about today are going to be very difficult for people to understand. To me, I have to do what I really want to talk about. I can't just talk about things that'll get me the most hits. I'm just not really interested in that. What I am interested in is sharing ideas that I've had about music for a long time, and particularly recently, some of the ideas I've had, which have gotten me back into playing again. One thing I want to talk about today is Segovia and his way of playing, and his arrangements. And we're going to look at Sonatine by Georg Benda. I'm going to flash the music on the screen every once in a while for you. But if you want the book, this is from the book, The Finest Pieces from His Repertoire. If you look for that book, Andres Segovia, The Finest Pieces of His Repertoire, this Sonatine by Georg Benda is in that book. So what I'm going to talk about, first thing I want to talk about is, I think one of the things that makes Segovia so fantastic, and I know people love and hate him. I mean, I get it. He's a polarizing figure in the guitar world. But as I get older, he becomes more and more interesting and more inspiring to me. And the reason why, one of the reasons why, is Segovia plays in a way, he has this sense of trust and faith that the guitar is good. And he doesn't need to do anything but love the guitar when he plays, and be very happy when he plays the guitar. Which is something that, most teachers never talk about this. Have fun when you play, enjoy the guitar, enjoy the sound. But this is really the core. When I'm listening to Segovia, I'm listening to somebody who is in absolute acceptance of what comes out of the box. And believe me, in the later years, this piece was written on it was recorded on the Intimate Guitar album. Listen to it. If you can get a chance, listen to him play this. And you'll hear all sorts of artifacts, and the chords can be dirty, but there's something about it that's so transcendent of all of that. There's a love there for what he's hearing from the guitar, and there's a power of concentration there which goes beyond any of these little surface details. In fact, it's so, his attitude about playing is so transcendent that these little noises, you can tell, like, to him it's just part of the bouquet of flowers that he's hearing from the instrument, which is an extremely high state of mind, extremely high state, which, hopefully, I can at some point get there. So, like, when he plays, he plays this piece, and you can listen to the recording on the Intimate Guitar, but it's got this feeling of, I don't mind what happens. It's... pitch. Williams is the same way. It's just, I don't have the words for it. It's not careful. It's not careful, which unfortunately a lot of teachers emphasize, you have to be careful. It's just not the way those guys play. They don't play careful. And it's such a revelation to really hear that and get that and realize that energy transcends everything. Anything you were worried about, that energy will, push right through it. It's fantastic. Now, just some technical things, which I love about Segovia, part of this attitude of I don't mind what happens, is he's not that concerned about holding on to notes, making everything super legato, getting the richest tone all the time. It's not what he does. He's often letting go of notes. I'll do the first phrase. Letting go. Letting go. And then sometimes holding. Letting go. What's cool about that is, it doesn't all sound the same. Sometimes you have notes that get cut off. Some notes are more legato. It's varied, And he doesn't strain the left hand. He's not trying to make sure the left hand is legato, He'll play this part. How can I explain it? This part here. You can imagine someone trying to make that legato. If you listen to him, he shortens the chords because, it's easier to do when it's lighter on the left hand. He doesn't try to strain the left hand. Then here, more legato. The left hand is allowed to rest. He doesn't want the left hand to feel heavy. In here, letting go of these notes. Right? Not trying to hold on to these things like this. It's a huge difference. go to the middle section, when we get into the second half of this piece, the D major section, Segovia does some changes to the rhythm, which if you don't know the masterclass where he's teaching the chaconne, he talks about the idea of having a healthy disrespect for the rhythm. Meaning, you're allowed to adjust rhythms if it makes the rhythm more alive. And he does this in the second half. He starts off straight. But that rhythm is different. Written, it's this. But it's much more fun, and on the left hand, it's lighter. It just rolls off the hand a lot easier, and it's more alive sounding. Then we have these. Now, in here, what's interesting is this is where a student would get very concerned about, how do I do this? Right? So here he has this chord, and then he written the notation. My guitar's upset. So here he has this written notation like this, where he's holding the chord, then he moves, right? But in fact, what Segovia does, which is great, is he doesn't pay attention to the duration, like this. So he doesn't hold the chord. A lot of students get caught up in the idea that, well, it's written, I've got to hold it as long as it's written. It's just not true. The duration can be slightly disrespected. And it's... Now I can get this vibrato and this little portamento. Again, detached, legato, detached. And then he finishes. He doesn't do a trill. It's much better actually without it. Just land the note. It's a small thing. Anyway, those are some ideas. This, if you listen to them carefully, you'll hear these little articulation ideas, the lifting of the left hand. It's really fun to play this way. And if you've never worked on Segovia arrangements, try them out and do his fingering, and you'll notice certain spots seem awfully difficult. And if you change the articulation, you think about, can I lighten up the left hand here? You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to play it. So, that's what I would encourage. It's one of the things I find very inspiring is finding new ways to play. And one of the best things to do if you're looking for new ways to play is go back to what people did 40, 50, 60 years ago and see what they did. And keep your mind open and see if there's anything that you can use in your own playing. I mean, for me, just his attitude, and I would put Williams and Bremen the same thing, just the attitude of the player is so important. And the way they approach the guitar with fearlessness, it'll conquer anything for you, you know. But there are some technical things we need to know about as well if we want to play this kind of music. So I encourage you, you know, check out this piece, play through it, you know, have fun. And it's just a wonderful little piece. There's a lot of arrangements of Segovia which are not that difficult. I'll probably do some other videos because I'm enjoying them so much. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.